The ancestral power within, reclaiming our spiritual birthright. As children of the diaspora, we carry within us the echoes of ancient power, a spiritual birthright stolen but never truly lost. Are you ready to awaken the divine spark within and reclaim the strength of our ancestors? Mikhail Masa video, subscribe and share. The Most High, Tata Nzambi, has always chosen the humble, those deemed foolish by the world, to be vessels of his profound wisdom. When the scripture says, "The foolish things of the world will confound the wise," 1 Corinthians 1:27, it speaks to a truth that resonates deep within our souls. It's not about a lack of intelligence, but about the superiority of spiritual wisdom over mere intellectual knowledge. The world, with its schools, institutions, and human reasoning, glorifies a knowledge that is ultimately shallow. True power, the kind that moves mountains and heals nations, flows from the Spirit, from a divine understanding that transcends the limitations of the human mind. This is the wisdom that our ancestors possessed, the wisdom that the colonizers sought to extinguish. The world, in its wickedness, actively suppresses the spiritual power of our people. The dragon, Satan, the fallen ones, and even alien forces have taken fragments of divine wisdom and twisted them into the false systems that dominate our lives today. These systems, found in our schools, media, and political structures, are designed to keep us spiritually enslaved. They manipulate knowledge, convincing us that power lies in intellect, in material possessions, rather than in the elevation of our spirits. This is why so many of the strongest figures in our history, both in the Bible and in our ancestral narratives, were often seen as outcasts, fools, or weaklings, yet they possessed a divine power that the world could not comprehend. The Bible is a testament to the power of spiritual warriors, individuals who possessed a strength far beyond the grasp of worldly understanding. They were not chosen for their scholarly achievements or their adherence to human laws, but because they carried the divine spirit of Tata Nzambi within them. Their stories are our stories, echoes of the power that lies dormant within each of us. Think of Moses, raised in the very heart of Pharaoh's empire, surrounded by the highest levels of human knowledge and magic. Yet his true power emerged when Tata Nzambi called him, when he embraced his spiritual destiny. He parted the Red Sea, Exodus 14:21-22, commanded the forces of nature, and unleashed plagues upon an empire, all through the power of the Spirit. Consider David, the shepherd boy, underestimated even by his own family. Yet he carried the spirit of Tata Nzambi within him, a spirit that made him a giant slayer. With only a sling and a stone, he defeated Goliath, 1 Samuel 17:50, a warrior trained in the art of battle. The world saw him as weak, but divine wisdom made him victorious, a king chosen not by politics, but by a heart aligned with Tata Nzambi, 1 Samuel 13:14. Remember Samson, often seen as foolish because he was ruled by his emotions. Yet his strength came directly from Tata Nzambi. He tore apart lions with his bare hands, Judges 14:5-6, and single-handedly defeated armies. The world believed his power resided in his hair, but it was his spiritual connection to Tata Nzambi that made him invincible. Elijah, the prophet who commanded fire from the heavens, 1 Kings 18:38, and stopped the rain for 3 years, was mocked by the Pharisees and intellectuals of his time. Yet he proved that the power of the Most High surpasses any false god. His spiritual elevation made him untouchable, and he was taken up to heaven in a chariot of fire, 2 Kings 2:11, a testament to the power of unwavering faith. And then there is Yisaya, Jesus, seen by the Pharisees and rulers as a simple man, a fool. Yet he walked on water, Matthew 14:25, healed the sick, cast out demons, Luke 4:33-35, and controlled the winds and seas, Mark 4:39. He was not merely a man, but a divine being, fully connected to Tata Nzambi, a living embodiment of spiritual power. The wicked world actively seeks to suppress our true power. They promote false religions, false sciences, and false teachings to keep us spiritually blind. They force us to sacrifice to Satan through secret societies, false traditions, and deceptive practices. They promote lust, greed, and materialism to weaken our spirits, to sever our connection to the divine. The true power of humanity lies in imagination, in the ability to create, manifest, and shape reality. The parallel world, the spirit realm, is paradise, the place where everything exists before it manifests in the physical. This is the power that our Bantu ancestors possessed before they were reduced to mere humans. They lived in divine harmony, a state of being that the European colonizers feared. King Leopold II of Belgium understood this. He recognized that the Bantu people possessed supernatural wisdom, power, and righteousness. They were not primitive, but spiritually advanced, possessing a connection to the divine that threatened his colonial ambitions. That is why they were labeled as extraterrestrials, because their wisdom came from beyond human understanding, from a realm that the colonizers could not comprehend. We must remember that the transatlantic slave trade was not just about physical enslavement, but about the systematic destruction of our spiritual heritage. Our languages, our traditions, our connection to the land were all deliberately targeted to sever us from our ancestral power. But the spirit cannot be broken, it can only be suppressed. We are now in a time of spiritual awakening, a time when the descendants of the righteous are rising again, rediscovering their divine gifts. The ancestors are calling us, urging us to remember who we are, to reclaim our spiritual birthright. This is not a passive process, but an active journey of self-discovery and spiritual empowerment. Many seek to experience the spiritual realm through drugs, meditation, and occult practices, but these are false paths, often leading to further enslavement. True power comes from Tata Nzambi alone, from a direct connection to the source of all creation. We are gods and creators, Psalm 82:6, beings of immense potential, and the world tries to hide this truth from us. Spiritual understanding, intelligence, and wisdom are not the same as academic knowledge or life experiences. They originate from within, from the divine essence placed inside each of us by Tata Nzambi. This inner power, this spiritual gift, distinguishes those who merely exist from those who fulfill their divine purpose. It is the key to unlocking our ancestral potential. Not everyone possesses the same level of spiritual wisdom, just as not every tree bears the same fruit. The Bible speaks of a tree that does not bear fruit and is cut down, Matthew 7:19, representing a person who fails to use their divine gifts to fulfill their purpose. Similarly, the parable of the sower illustrates that everyone has a different spiritual capacity, Mark 4, verse 3-8. The spirit within us must grow over time, just as the body needs nourishment. A person who only feeds their body but neglects their spirit will remain empty, disconnected from their true potential. This is why many nations seek spiritual practices, searching for meaning through esoteric knowledge, meditation, and ancestral connections. They instinctively understand that there is something deeper within them, but many forget that true healing, transformation, and knowledge come only from Tata Nzambi. We must be discerning in our spiritual pursuits, ensuring that we are connecting to the true source of power, not to deceptive forces that seek to exploit our vulnerability. Many people seek their purpose through mystical and esoteric teachings, hoping to understand their lineage, their mission, and their spiritual roots. But they forget that not all spiritual knowledge is divine. Many so-called spiritual revelations come from fallen angels, demonic spirits who deceive people into thinking they have found the truth. The Bible warns us about this deception. Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light, 2 Corinthians 11:14. My people perish for lack of knowledge, Hosea 4:6. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect, Matthew 24:24. We must be vigilant in discerning the source of our spiritual guidance. Throughout history, Tata Nzambi has sent special individuals to guide his people, prophets who bring divine messages, wise men who interpret spiritual mysteries, and leaders who protect and build nations according to divine laws. Each person has a unique mission in life, whether it is to teach, to heal, to lead, or to create, but all are called to serve Tata Nzambi's purpose on earth. Our ancestors understood the importance of spiritual guidance, of connecting to those who could help us navigate the complexities of the spirit realm. We must seek out those who are aligned with Tata Nzambi, those who can help us unlock our potential and fulfill our divine destiny. African proverbs carry the same wisdom found in the Bible, reflecting a deep understanding of the spiritual principles that govern our lives. A tree without roots will not stand the storm. A person without spiritual connection will not survive hardships. The child who does not listen to the elders will cry in the future. Ignoring spiritual wisdom leads to destruction. Water will always return to its source. We must return to our spiritual origin, Tata Nzambi. The Bible echoes these truths. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, Proverbs 9, verse 10. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God, Matthew 4:4. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, Romans 12:2. Our ancestral wisdom and the teachings of the Bible are two sides of the same coin, guiding us towards spiritual liberation. The nations seek knowledge in the wrong places, turning to ancestral spirits, astrology, and secret teachings, thinking they will find their divine purpose. But true wisdom comes only from Tata Nzambi. We must seek him in prayer and meditation, read the sacred scriptures and apply their teachings, surround ourselves with righteous people who uplift our spirit and reject false spiritual paths that lead to darkness. Wisdom is not about how much we know, but about how aligned we are with the divine. It is about surrendering to the will of Tata Nzambi and allowing him to guide us on our journey. It is about recognizing that we are not alone, that we are part of a larger spiritual tapestry, connected to our ancestors and to all of creation. Each person has a different purpose in life, some called to lead, some to teach, and some to heal. But all must seek wisdom from Tata Nzambi, not from false spirits. The power of spiritual intelligence is not in the mind but in the spirit. It is a gift from the Most High, a birthright that we must reclaim. As the Bible says, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. James 1:5. Let us seek wisdom not from the world, but from Tata Nzambi, the Supreme Creator. Only He can reveal our true path and purpose, and only He can empower us to fulfill our divine destiny. The time for awakening is now. The righteous will rise again, and the power of Tata Nzambi will be revealed through His chosen people. Embrace your ancestral power, connect with the divine, and reclaim your spiritual birthright. Share this message with your brothers and sisters, and let us rise together in the name of Tata Nzambi. Yaya Mikael Masa, subscribe and share the video for more.